Hello and welcome to Hard and Soft Gaming's first video review. We'll be looking at Final Fantasy XIII, a game from last year that I did pick up around release date but found it difficult to get into at first. But put in the hours, about 25, and you really do get an amazing game. This is a game about epic scales of proportion, the amount of fun you have, the amount of damage you do, the depth of the battle system, your interest in the story, and the conceited characters. The size of the monsters, the amount of hit points the enemies have, the amount of strategic options you have, the number of components you collect to upgrade your weapons, and the amount of CP you need to level up, all grow exponentially as you progress through the game. Oh, and don't forget the pace. All of these factors start off very low, and the early chapters of the game lend themselves well to the term boring. The game really gets great at chapter 7, but this is at least 12 hours in. By the end of the game, and beyond, you'll be paradigm shifting like on a mix of speed and ecstasy. There are a lot of cutscenes, especially from chapters 1 through 9, so if you're the type of gamer who really wants action all of the time, then this is not the game for you. The presentation of this game is superb, the graphics are astounding, the sound marvellous, all the sound effects perfect in place, and the soundtrack itself is just toned at exactly the right level. The voice acting can be pretty iffy in places. The voice actors are good at their job, but they don't necessarily match the characters that you see on the screen. The plot moves at a fairly quick pace, but there's so much detail that it can feel like a slug at times. There's a lot of content to get through here, and this is a character piece, so you have to listen to them all wax philosophical and question their own existence. There are definite Marmite moments with the script.
Let doubt take over, and despair will cripple you.
The characters are interesting and have a fair amount of baggage to sift through. The why of the plot is obviously kept under wraps for some considerable time, is only fully revealed at the end of chapter 9. The backstory, covering the 13 days leading up to the start of the game, is told piece by piece, interspersed with the main storyline. It slowly trickles out as previous connections between the main cast are revealed, a la Lost. The paradigm system allows you to set up different roles for the characters in your main party. You can then switch between these on the fly during battle to turn the tide or simply shift your tactics. The more difficult battles of the game demand a complete understanding of the system, because if you enter with the wrong paradigms available to you, you just have no chance of winning at all. Instead of the traditional experience, use Crystarium to build up your characters. This allows you to spend points towards hit point upgrades, extra strength, extra magic, as well as new abilities and accessory slots for your characters. The inventory system is bloated with components and accessories, but the weapons and general items are kept rather tidy. You use the components that you win from battle to upgrade your accessories and weapons. You can spend a lot of time trying to find out how to efficiently use your components to upgrade your weapons and accessories, but I have to say I used the guide to shortcut this a little bit. Final Fantasy XIII contains possibly the best turn-based battle system I've ever seen in the game. Everything unfolds at such a rapid pace that it really is a pleasure to watch. Luckily, the game eases you in slowly so you never feel completely overwhelmed, and it's not till later, chapter 11 or so, where you're really tested. There are earlier boss battles that can be quite tricky, but usually perseverance wins through, or failing that, use a sentinel. The main contention with the game is how long it takes before you really get going. You're probably looking at about 15 hours before you really enjoy the game, and another 15 or so before things open up a little bit and you reach chapter 11 and have the side missions to take on. I finished the game in about 60 hours, but I've put in about 25 hours since. That's pretty good value for money in my book. So, Final Fantasy XIII, a game that will reward you if you put the time in. However, if you don't have that time, then maybe this isn't the game for you.